Hello and welcome to the Tao of Yoga Nidra, the healing path for workaholics. So in this episode, I'd like to clear up some of the confusion about the term workaholic. So this word workaholic is often used to describe people who love their work and who are passionate about what they do. And at the same time, the term workaholic is also used to describe an individual who's compulsively driven to work excessively and continuously, often to the detriment of their physical and mental health, their personal relationships, and their overall quality of life. So in this episode, what we're going to do is look at the difference between work passion and work addiction. The word workaholic was popularized by an American psychologist, Wayne Oates, around the late 60s, early 70s, and especially by his book, which was called Confessions of a Workaholic: The Facts About Work Addiction. Wayne Oates described workaholism as an uncontrollable need to work incessantly, and he viewed it as an addiction similar to alcoholism, from which the word workaholic is derived. And understanding the difference between working hard and being addicted to work is essential for establishing a healthy work-life balance or for creating and maintaining work-life harmony. And confusing work passion with workaholism sometimes leads to work addiction being perceived as something healthy, and conversely, healthy work passion being perceived as something unhealthy. So let's look at this concept of work passion. Work passion, also known as job passion, refers to strong and enduring enthusiasm and commitment that individuals have for their work. And it can be characterized by a deep emotional connection to your job and a genuine enjoyment of the tasks and responsibilities associated with your job. So the key words here with work passion is enthusiasm, connection, and enjoyment. Passionate workers are fueled by intrinsic motivation, inner motivation. That is, they're driven by their mission and their vision and their values and their purpose, rather than external rewards or pressures, such as pressures to do with either pleasing others or gaining some kind of external reward that you don't think you can get from anywhere else, whether that be admiration from other people, recognition, respect, etc., but always externally from another source. Passionate workers consistently feel excited about their work, so it's a source of joy rather than obligation. So we have enthusiasm, enjoyment, and excitement. They don't feel like what they're doing is a job, and the fact that they're being paid to do it is just a bonus. And passionate workers seek to grow and develop and master their field for the love of it. And they have the resilience to navigate challenges and setbacks in their careers, in their day-to-day work, because their strong commitment keeps them motivated. They approach problems in terms of finding innovative and creative solutions. So passionate workers tend to have a high level of job satisfaction and find genuine fulfillment in their roles. They tend to be more productive. They have a sense of purpose and happiness in their professional lives. They wake up in the morning looking forward to the day ahead instead of approaching it with dread. Studies have shown that work passion can have positive effects on physical and mental health, reducing stress, and promoting better overall health. Passionate staff often have great relationships with their colleagues and their supervisors and their employers due to their positive attitude and commitment to their work. And they're more likely to achieve long-term success and become leaders and innovators in their fields. But sometimes when academics or journalists talk or write about the benefits of work passion, they describe it as being the benefits of workaholism, of being a workaholic. They blur the boundaries between work passion and workaholism and conflate them, define them as the same thing, which can be problematic because confusing hard work with workaholism can lead to a culture that encourages overworking. And this can result in widespread burnout among employees, affecting their physical and mental health, and ultimately their productivity. Workaholics often struggle to balance their professional and personal lives, which can lead to strained relationships and family issues. So if the working environment encourages workaholic behavior rather than work passion, this can further strain the personal connections and relationships of workers in their personal lives, and this can result in mental health problems caused by emotional isolation. So work passion often leads to productivity, but workaholism may lead to diminishing returns in terms of productivity. When people are exhausted and stressed from overworking, they may make more mistakes, be less creative, and become less efficient. And the constant pressure or need to overwork, if fostered in the working environment, can contribute to mental health problems such as anxiety and depression. If society glorifies workaholism, it can perpetuate these issues and discourage people who think their working habits are becoming unmanageable from seeking help. Those who are constantly pushed to work excessively, even when it's only themselves that they're pushing and they're not being pressured by others, they may eventually become dissatisfied with their jobs. A focus on the quantity of work rather than the quality of work can lead to a lack of fulfillment and job-related stress. Encouraging employees and staff and workers to prioritize their well-being, their personal lives, and their mental health can lead to a more productive and satisfied and healthier workforce. This may seem counterintuitive, but the cost for companies and organizations is much greater if their staff are always off work due to work-related stress or mental and physical health problems resulting from chronic overwork. So fostering a culture that discourages workaholism and encourages work passion is much better for all concerned. Employees, supervisors, managers, employers, even entrepreneurs and the self-employed. So this podcast is called The Tao of Yoga Nidra because I'm combining two ancient traditions, Taoism from the Chinese tradition and Yoga Nidra from the Indian tradition, to create a healing path for people who are overworked for whatever reason that might be. And as we know, the reasons are many. So Taoism emphasizes harmonizing ourselves with the cycles of the natural world. In the context of work-life harmony and balance, this also means working in harmony and alignment with our own natural energy patterns, listening to our body's limits, and not overexerting ourselves unnecessarily, taking appropriate time out for rest and recreation, so that when we do have to work for longer periods, when we can't get out of work in those longer hours, at those moments our energy is more sustainable and working longer doesn't result in burnout and collapse. There's a concept in Taoism called Wu Wei, which emphasizes effortless action and going with the flow. It's not about forcing or striving, but allowing things to unfold naturally and organically. Applying this concept to work habits means that we can approach tasks with more ease and focus. When our mindset towards work takes a more effortless, relaxed kind of approach, work is less draining and more sustainable. And this is in keeping with the popular saying, manage your energy, not your time. And as we know, there are various ways of managing and increasing our energy, for example, with food. And so, whatever dietary practices or nutritional regimes that you're following, in addition to this, the way that you eat is as equally important as what you eat. So, for example, eating slowly and mindfully and only when you're hungry. The quickest way of increasing our energy is through breathing practices. And there are a lot of breathing exercises and techniques and practices, both in Taoism, in the Taoist practice of Qigong and Tai Chi, for example, and in yoga, and particularly in Yoga Nidra. Another way of increasing our energy is through sleeping or rest. So practicing good sleep hygiene routines and relaxation practices, as well as Yoga Nidra, can also help to increase your energy. Another way of increasing our energy is through movement. So I mentioned already Tai Chi and Qigong, but any type of movement that you enjoy. The most important aspect is enjoyment. And then we also get energy or absorb energy from other people. And this is great if everybody's feeling uplifted, but not so great if there's a bit of a toxic environment. And in the context of the workplace, if there's a toxic working environment and you're absorbing that energy, it can decrease your energy rather than increase it. So the best thing in that case is not to be swept away by other people's energy, but to have your own powerful store of energy, which you get from all the practices I mentioned, particularly breathing practices, sleeping, rest, Yoga Nidra, which is a form of transformational sleep, that's another one of its names, movement, storing up, managing, and increasing your energy or your chi. And in terms of following the rhythm of nature, say if you live in a country in the Northern Hemisphere, it's now autumn at the time of this recording. So in the Taoist tradition, autumn is a time of slowing down, turning within, re-evaluating. It's also about letting go of the old and embracing the new in all aspects. So it could be letting go of old ideas so you can embrace new opportunities or new values, letting go of objects and stuff and possessions you don't need, letting go of clutter and embracing more space so that you can have more space in your mind, because your immediate environment does impact on your headspace. It can also mean letting go of old resentments so you can be inspired and meet new people and receive new insights. And in the medical, physical sense, this letting go refers to eliminating toxins from the body, and receiving the new can refer to the function of inhaling. So just to summarize, covering all aspects of day-to-day living, in the autumn, we slow down, we turn within, we evaluate, we organize. It's a time of organizing, sorting things out, getting your ducks in a row. There's the physical aspect of breathing, increase energy, of taking care of your immediate environment so that you have space within your environment and within your mind. And this helps with clarity of mind. Autumn is also the time of being able to let go of old ideas and old attitudes and embrace new opportunities and new ways of being. It covers the emotional aspect of acknowledging sadness and depression and grief instead of repressing it. And it also covers the spiritual aspects of inspiration and forgiveness and letting go of resentments. And so all of these aspects can also be applied to our day-to-day working life as well. And we will unpack this more slowly and in more detail as this podcast progresses. So the next episode of the Tao of Yoga Nidra will be a Yoga Nidra guided meditation using self-soothing techniques, which will include the physiological sigh breathing technique advocated by neurobiologists, neuroscientists. And self-soothing techniques help us to manage feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, agitation, frustration, turmoil, and distress. So look out for this meditation in the next episode, and bye for now.